All right, hey, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, before we get started, and see that's the thing, it's Satan, but it's all good. It's all good. Let me see how I can do this. I'll do it like that. All right, first and foremost, before we get started, giving all praise and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Chakodash. Double honors once again, as always, and to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us the truth. Peace, much love, and citation as always to those for elect. As you see by the title, and this must be a an offensive title, or something that rubs Esau the wrong way. All right, because things that usually don't happen when I go live, they're now happening. You know, my phone's trying to go on like an auto timeout where the screen goes black. Um, when you do the title, it's never auto corrected or filled in your spaces a day of a day of me even doing these. Now all of a sudden it wants to fill in spaces and stuff. But nonetheless, okay. Um, as you see by the title, all right, the sport of the Edomite. All right, and inspiration of this lesson came. I was watching one of the LD Ashwama's most recent videos. Let me see if I can. Well, damn. Give me 1 second. I might be able to. In the news, worst case scenario. So that video, but he had mentioned somewhere around the lines of the sport of the Edomite and going into a couple things, and that inspired me to to do this lesson. So Lord's will, this is edifying to the elect, and I'm gonna start with this word for sport, okay? Because when I say the sport of the Edomite, this is what I'm really speaking of. So in the definition, it says in the Edamon, it says take pleasure, enjoy or amuse oneself, to divert, amuse, please, play, to seek amusement, okay, carry away, but ultimately to take pleasure, enjoy, or amuse oneself. So this is his way of amusing himself, okay, by doing these certain things. Now, what is this? When I say this, what is the sport of the Edomite? The sport of the ultimate sport of the Edomite is hunting animals, all right, hunting people, and then even hunting the earth, hunting the trees, okay, things that are vital to life. He's managed to make a sport out of all these things. All right. He'll hunt animals not because he's hungry, but because he wants to put the head of the deer or the head of the bison or the head of the moose on his wall as a trophy. He hunts the people. We ain't even got going to that because they won't clip the video. All right. But he hunts the people. And even those back in the day, you had slave purses. You had purses that were made from the skins of slaves. All right. And then he's hunting the trees. He's hunting earth. Nature itself is not safe when it comes to this nigga, man, because he doesn't know how to do that. So this is Habakkuk 2:4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." So his soul, his spirit is not right, okay? And he was designed to just be this demonic nigga, all right, and to ultimately make a sport of the earth. This is the sport of an Edomite. It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." Right. Heapeth. What is he doing? Making a sport out of people. Now he want to get everybody underneath his subjection. He wants everybody to be his slave. He makes a sport out of capturing people. He makes a sport out of capturing animals. He makes a sport out of capturing things of nature. Okay, and he gets amusement. He gets pleasure in this. He enjoys it. This is how he gets off. Because he's a fucking demon. Okay? And the Most High is going to have a recompense for that. Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So they make a sport out of the earth. They make a sport out of the people. Again, they take pleasure in doing these things because this is the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is the man of sin. All right, the man of perdition. This is this nigga that the Bible is warning you to stay away from, because he makes sport of all these things that really should. The things that I'm speaking of that is natural. It should be natural. There should be a surplus of bison still in the landmass of America. There aren't, okay, or the American buffalo, as some people call it, but the bison, all right, because they wiped that out years ago, you know, to hinder Gad and Reuben, but mainly Gad, so that way that you can go to them and depend on them for food and resources. They're hunting animals pretty much to extinction, and then they'll save the last two and say, "Yeah, we're trying to save them." You hunted all these animals out, and got them out the way. You made a sport of hunting a particular beast, and the beast isn't even, it's not even lawful. Why is the white rhinoceros damn near extinct? What are you doing with it? But they put the horns, if I'm not mistaken, they use the horns for like makeup or medicines or something. Let's see. What? Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Rhino horn is used in traditional Chinese medicine, but increasingly common in its or is its use as a status symbol to display success and wealth. Poaching is now a threat in all rhino range states. Uh, However, as South Africa is home to the majority of rhinos in the world, it is being heavily targeted. But that's the thing. So ultimately, there's no real reason as to why they have or why they're hunting rhinos outside of the fact that it's a status symbol. It displays success and wealth. Okay, but there's no benefit, to it. And then even, yeah, with Chinese medicine, well, that's that. We're not doing that. We shouldn't go to Gook for anything, for any measure of nothing, not a goddamn thing. Now, and I'll actually, matter of fact, I ain't gonna scoff yet. I ain't gonna scoff yet because I ain't looked it up. I'm not eating no goddamn rhino horn or using it for whatsoever. But that's not. Let's just see. Oh man, you know how much shit you got to go through to get to a rhino versus just going and getting some black seed oil. No, man. That's you don't need no goddamn rhino horn. Yeah, they had a trade. Look, let's see. The Vietnamese black market exemplifies how urban myth and dubious hype can encourage demand for rhino horn products as both medicinal and status boosting luxury products. Um, so they're pretty much saying it's like a myth. But let's see, and then I'll get back to this. But let's see how many white rhinos are left. I think if it's not this one, it's another one where there's only like two, or they're fucking gone. Not the white rhino, so Salakia. Which one is it? The white rhino is near threatened. The black rhino is ironically, but critically endangered. The western black rhinoceros is extinct. They were extinct in 2011 due to poaching. All right. And yeah, poaching ultimately, yeah, you hunting unnecessary shit. Shit that should the Lord did not, give us jurisdiction to eat no goddamn rhino, man. That shit ugly. I mean, the Lord's creatures is beautiful, but you don't look at that and be like, damn, that look good. Okay? So stop. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to get this probably be a whole nother lesson. This will be a whole nother lesson. Cause there's a list of these motherfuckers. And I know a rhino is on them. And they gonna give you the Greek names. But anyways, we ain't gonna get too much in that. Salaki dove off a little bit. But just, another example, man. This nigga made a sport out of the rhino, and it was ultimately no fucking reason. Multiple, and it ain't just the rhinoceros, it's multiple animals. Multiple animals have gone extinct or nearing, extinction just off of Esau just being bored, playing around. This is a good way to amuse myself. Okay. So again, they covenant fields, taking them by violence, oppressing a man in his house. And we know how they do that. We know how they, take men and and hell in both ways, which is fucking demonic. All right. But this is what he was made to do. All right. So Revelation 11 and 18, it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Now, who is that man or that nation that's destroying the earth? The Edomites. All right, they are fucking the earth up on a high level. And this is a prime example right here. Deuteronomy 28 or 20, Salakia, and 19 in the NLT. Because this is what Esau does, because he attacks the trees. All right. This is what the elder had brought out. So it says, when you are attacking a town and the war drags on, you must not cut down the trees with your axes. You may eat the fruit, but do not cut down the trees. Are the trees your enemies that you should attack them? Right. So here it is. This man he's waged war against the trees. He's waged war against things that they can't fucking fend for themselves, man. He's waged war against the animals. That's why we don't feel bad when you see a goddamn chimp tearing the Edomite face in half, or whatever. A horse kicking a bitch in the chest. Hey man, well deserved. Okay. And may the Lord have that happen even more. Because all the animal testing, look at what you do. As filthy as they are, even though they serve their purpose, but as filthy as they are, rats and mice should not be used in lab experiments. Okay, rabbits, rodents, smaller animals. They shouldn't be used and they use them for those experiments because they think that their life is just lesser. No, they serve a purpose, man. They roaches serve a purpose. They don't belong in your damn house. But Esau has created a living situation to where these bugs and these rodents they have access to your crib because they're tearing down um their living surroundings and shit like that. I remember back in my old spot, we had got mice one time because there was it was like a tree line all behind us. And as soon as Esau went through and started cutting down that tree line, then we pop it with mice. And it's like you get mad at the mouse, but it's like it ain't this nigga trying to get, his home just got cut down, man. He ain't got no goddamn choice. So it all goes back to this Edomite making a sport out of everything, man. Everything is a goddamn sport to him. But this is why, and again, he's doing this to everything. Everything is no holds barred match. All right. So this is Isaiah 14, and I started 4. You can really start up at the top, but fuck you. I'll get to the point. Isaiah 14:4, 144. It says, "The devil shall take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased." All right, how have the oppressor ceased? How did this nigga get taken out of power? Well, it's through the Lord. See what the NLT says for that. I should have just clicked on it. You will taunt the king of Babylon. You will say, the mighty man has been destroyed. Yes, your insolence is ended. See? And let's get that word for insolence. Let's see what that says. Let's type that in. Insolence. Unusualness, strangeness, excess, immoderation, hardiness, arrogance. So unusual, arrogant. He's a fucking arrogant piece of shit, man. All right, the so-called white man is an arrogant goddamn devil that walks around the earth portraying himself to be this savior or this righteous man when really he's the goddamn devil. They ain't shit right about him. Can the leopard change his spots? There's nothing right about a fucking Edomite, man. And you black niggers that think that he is right and that he's the way to go, the Most High is going to destroy you right alongside him. And us being the hopeful elect, we cannot wait. We can't wait until the Lord carries out that judgment on you people, man. Okay? Isaiah 14:5, the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. The Lord's getting ready to break that fucking staff, man. You ain't gonna have no more power. And we're seeing it. Your power is slipping away. And you're scrambling, shaking in your damn boots. You don't know what to do. But to continue to be an even bigger devil. But that's prophecy too. All right. It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Right. He never gave up. He never eased up on it. Oh, we're gonna release you from slavery. Remember, because he made a sport out of Jake. Ultimately the whole earth, but we're talking about Jake. Oh yeah, we're gonna release you from slavery. But then he still had you, and he turns you from a physical slave to a mental slave. Now you niggas don't know what's best for you. Now niggas are offended by the truth. Jake gets a twisted side mouth when they hear the truth of the Lord. When you're told about yourself, when you're corrected. Big grown ass men, they can't be told about themselves anymore because Esau has done a number on our people. He's done so much of a number, he doesn't even have to do anything anymore. All he has to do is just allow niggers to just nig on. And again, you get to this big ass age, you're this so-called grown man, and you don't know how to control your emotions. You don't know how to deal. You don't know the names of the Lord. You don't know a goddamn thing. But you're supposed to be reverenced and respected as a man. Well, true men are going to be men of the Lord, men that have integrity, men that have standards. And when I say standards, it ain't always talking about a fucking woman, man. There's bigger things going on the earth than some goddamn coochie. To hell with goddamn Keisha and the rest of these goddamn women because they're going to die any fucking way. There's going to be more of them on the streets than us. And us meaning men. But Lord willing, it ain't going to be us, the elect. We ain't going to be around you fucking niggas. We are not finna be around y'all whatsoever. The Lord is going to put a hedge over us. The rest of y'all niggas you gonna feel the wrath. But this is what Esau's created. He's created you simple-minded Negroes, man. To the point where you can't think for yourself. And again, you're overly emotional. You don't have standards. All right, you just sit there and just Do all the whatever the so-called white man tells you do it with a smile. The Lord's coming for your ass too, nigga. It says, "He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered." And right, this is an angry ass rule. This ain't a rulership of peace. You know, a king of peace is not ruling over the earth right now, man. Whatsoever. You think the president is happy? Look at what this nigga's doing. He's ruling in anger. He's pissed at everybody. He's pissed at his own people. He's causing insurrection amongst his own people. This ain't no fucking man. No, man. And y'all niggas got the game twisted. That's really what it boils down to. The vast majority of y'all don't have an idea as to what the hell is going on and or what you're talking about. That's why it's best if you just allow the prophets to do the talking and you just sit down, shut the fuck up, and take some goddamn notes. Or just don't click on our videos. Don't leave a comment. Don't come to the camp. If we're so wrong, continue to do your right. That's it. If we are so wrong, go continue to do your right. And we will see in the end which one is more beneficial. But we can tell you for a fact that Jesus ain't going to be beneficial in that day. Buddha Allah is not going to be beneficial in that day. The black woman is not going to be beneficial in that day. Drake, Cardi B, Travis Scott, these niggas are not going to be beneficial in that day. The Edomite, he will not be beneficial in that day. He's going to fucking lose. He's losing now. That's why he clips videos and lowers comments, lowers views because he's a fucking scared ass bitch. Here it is. You got a video called WAP that's on YouTube with billions or millions of views. And a brother get 10 views on a video and say one thing about one of their precious little dumb niggas, and then it gets banned. Why do you think that is? Because we're telling the truth about this nigga. And he's mad that he's finally getting exposed. But this is prophecy. You can't do shit about it, man. You a hoe. And Salaki, I ain't trying to sit here and just cuss this nigga out, but man, fuck Esau, man. For real. Easier said than done, but man, we ready for this shit so we can hurry up and put your ass exactly where the hell you need to be. If you don't know where that is, go read. Because the nigga, then here it is, this the same nigga that smoked the people in wrath with a continual stroke. But now he has to say so, and no, hell no. The Most High is getting ready to set this thing right. And this is how the earth is going to be. Verse 7, it says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. The earth is going to be singing when you're taken down. The trees, the grass. Shit. Finally, this nigga gone. We can, you know, says it in the next verse. Verse 8. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. Right. So the fir trees are going to be able to rejoice. All the creations of Yahweh Shemashah are going to be able to rejoice in that day, man. And especially the fir tree. Finally, a nigga ain't cutting me down for Christmas. All right? For some bullshit. The earth is going to be able to breathe once you're taken out. And it's not going to be through our hands and through our meanings. No, this is the will of the Lord. So you're getting upset at the wrong person. My God, I just delivered a message. What the niggas say now, twin? I can't stand that shit. I can't stand that shit. When niggas say twin. Now I'm not your twin, nigga. You black. You oh, I can't stand that shit. But anyway, you know, excuse my folly. But yeah, man. I can't stand when niggas say that shit. But yeah, gonna see the true downfall of Esau Edom soon, man. And again, everybody's gonna be rejoicing. Everybody. It's like finally, man, this nigga's gone. We can breathe and live and flourish like the Most High intended us to. And that's for the elect first and foremost. Okay, shit, human life in general, because even the heathen are gonna um speak against this nigga. What's this? Isaiah 14, jumping down. Oh, I'll just read through. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? They gonna be like, man, this nigga low, you know? Oh no, and that's not the one. Salaki, jumping down to verse 16. It says, they that shall see thee, or they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? That's the one I wanted to get, Salakia. Okay. Yeah, that's how people gonna be looking at you in that time, man. This the nigga? This is the Edomite? Man, hell no. It ain't no way, because they gonna see you at your true state. They gonna see you at your true state, man. And once you're not able, or once the Lord makes it to where you're not able to make a sport out of anything, out of any of his creations, that's gonna be the beginning of life. And that's when Yahweh Shah returns and sets up his elect, all right, and destroys Babylon the Great, or you people know it as America. All right, it will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. Thus saith the Holy Scriptures. These are not our words. These are not things that we're planning. Okay, nigga, I can barely make it to work on time. You think I got time to make a bo bm? Switch the words, switch the letters around. You think I got time to be a terrorist? No, nobody has time for that shit. You just want to make that shit up to make yourself the appeasable one. But the Lord is stripping you of that, man. And ultimately, the real ones, as they say, the real ones know. What's understood don't need to be explained. So again, the sport of the Edomite, hunting people, hunting the earth, all right, the trees and such, and then hunting the animals, man. But that's going to be taken away very soon. All right, so Lord willing, is edifying, a little bit everywhere. So Salakia, but Lord will, again, it was edifying to the elect. All right, just flowing through the spirit. And before we close, once again, giving all praise and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Chakodash. Double honors once again, as always, to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Salakia, who rule well. All right, and taught us the truth. Peace, much love, and salutations always to those elect. Hey, to the next one. Keep pushing. Keep fighting this good fight of faith. Don't let no man take your crown. That's Shalom.